friends, so today I'm going to show you how to configure DHCP. So for that I have already installed server 2012 here and also installed the client uh, 2 Windows 7 systems. So you can check the hosting for the system is client 1 and the IPv4 address is 169.254.226.16 because I have not configured the DHCP server, so it's pick up the IP address from the APIPA, which is Automatic Private Information Protocol. So I'm just closing it down, and if you just go here and this client number 2, here also you can see the hosting is client 2 and the auto configuration IPv4 address is 169.254.144.238. So I'm just closing it down, and if I go here, well, so what is the DHCP? So before we start to the practical, I would like to discuss about the DHCP. So DHCP basically dynamic host configuration protocol, which helps to provide the automatic IP address in your network. So for example, if you have thousands of systems in your organizations, so if you configure the DHCP server, so the system, the client system will automatically pick up the IP address from your DHCP server pool. Pool means like you have to create a scope, the range. So within that range, the server will provide the IP address to the client. So this is the basic concept of DHCP server. So in order to configure the DHCP server, what we have to do, we need to install the DHCP role in the in the Windows Server 2008. So I have installed it here. So let's install the DHCP server, and we'll go ahead. So you can click on add roles and feature here, or rather you can go to manage and add roles and features. So before install the application or roles and features in the DHCP into the 2012 server, I'll show you one thing. If I local server, I just provide the computer name as a server, and I provided the Ethernet 01. The IPv4 address is 192.161.0.1. Because this IP address is not configured any DHCP, I just provided it manually. So if I open the command prompt and search for ipconfig, you can see my IPv4 address is 192.168.0.1, and this is the default subnet mask. So now we can install it, install the DHCP server. So we can go to dashboard again, or rather you can go to manage, add roles and features. So this is the basic preliminary step. You can go through it, but you can, there is an option skip this page by default, so you can keep this one. So I'm just clicking on next. So role based or feature based installation, remote desktop service installation. So installation required role service for virtual desktop, like if you're using any virtual machine, then you can use this. So I'm not going to do this because I'm not using any remote desktop. So selecting this first option and click on next. Here you can select server from the server pool, and it's automatically pick up the name and the server address and the operating system. So you can check the Microsoft Windows Server 2012 data center here. So if I go here, see my operating system is Windows Server 2012 data center. So you can click on next. So what roles you can find, there are lots of features here. So I'm going to install the DHCP server. So click on add features. So that is it, the DHCP server is selected. Just click on next, click on next, click on next, and make sure that you check this box. So it will restart your system or server, you can say, if it's required. So restart the destination server automatically if required. So make sure you check this box and click on install. So it will take some time, depend on your the server system performance. So it can take some time. So till the time, just be watching this. I'm just pausing this video. Well, you can see the DHCP service is installed, so I'm just going to close. Now you can see there is a exclamation symbol notification, so you can just click on here and just click on complete DHCP configuration, and need to click on commit, and it's done. So you can see there the exclamation is gone. Alright, so DHCP installation process is done. So we need to configure the DHCP. So in order to do that, we need to go to tools. So you can find the DHCP. So it's open. This is my system name. So there are two type of IPv, IPv4 and IPv6 address. So I'm going to work on the IPv4. So I need to click on expand and right click on IPv4. Click on new scope because we are going to create a new scope. Next, so we need to create a scope name. For example, we are giving a name test.
The time is 9 o'clock p.m.
Test 1 and click on next. So here you can just check, you define the scope address range by identifying a set of consecutive IP address. So here we need to put the start IP address and the end IP address. For example, you have the 20 system, so you have to select a range from where the client system will pick up the IPv4 address. So in my system the IPv4 address is 192.168.0.1. So I'm going to put it like 192.168.10.10. Here if you just click on the end IP address, it will automatically pick up the subnet one by default. So for example, just put the end IP address like 192.168.10.20. so I have 10 IP address. So click on next, and I'm not going to provide any static IP start or end IP address for the execution or delay because I'm going to show it on later. So click on next. So how many days for your lease duration, like for after days it will automatically get deleted. So by default it's 8. So you can in your organization you can just according to your network admin or server admin, you can just put the days and hours or minutes. So by default I'm going to put it in 8 days as usual. So click on next. And do you want to configure the DHCP option for the scope now? Yes, of course I want to configure the scope now. So click on next. So router, its default gateway, the IP address should be definitely would be your router IP address, so that your client system can communicate to the internet. So here I'm putting the default gateway as my server address. So 192.168.0.1. this is my server address or system address. So click on next. I don't have a configured any domain name or DNS server, so I'll click on next. And I don't have any WINS server, so click on next. Yes, I want to activate the scope now. Next, finish. So I have already created the scope now. So if I click on address pool, so you can see that the start IP address is 10 and the end IP address is 20. So now if I go here and click on just restart the DHCP server, it's restarting now. Okay, so you can see the test 1 and test 1 is already activated. So I'm just going to delete the first test which I have created. So delete this one. Yes, so I have only one test activated now. So now if I go to the client system and here if I search for ipconfig, you can see it's already picked a 192.168.0.10 which I have created, and you can see the default gateway 0.10. Initially it was 169.254.226.16. this is my client 1 system, and if I go to client 2 ipconfig, you can see it's 192.168.0.1 and this is my default gateway. So let's see if I can communicate with the server. So if I click on ping 192.168.0.1 space -t, see it's replying from the I'm getting the reply from the server in client 2. Again, if I go to client 1 and ping 192.168.0.1 space -t, Yes, I'm going getting the reply, but make sure both the cases I have already turned off the firewall because I'm configuring it in a testing purpose. So you have to turn off the firewall. So I have already turned off in both the client system as well as the server. So if I click on Windows Firewall, it's taking some time to load up. So we can close this one as well because we don't require it anymore. See, I have already turned off the firewall. So again here on this firewall, I have already all turned off. And if I go to server, on this firewall here, so see, I have already turned off. So that is it. This is that is how we can configure the DHCP server, and you can see that the IPv4 and IPv4 is already running. So I'm just closing it down. So thanks guys, this is how we can configure the DHCP server, and the client can be configured it. So thanks for watching.